Atrial fibrillation in India, the prevalence of atrial fibrillation is increasing in India years after years. Atrial fibrillation, the most important issue, the first step of management of atrial fibrillation is the prevention of thromboembolism. What we say that any patient having the atrial fibrillation more than 48 hours, he should receive the anticoagulation. That is, if the protocol is there, if we have some Chadvius score, rescoring, any patient having the score of 1, then the patient may have the only antiplatelet, say aspirin. The 2 option is the patient may have go for the dual antiplatelet, that the P2Y12 inhibitor or aspirin, or may go to oral anticoagulant, but the score more than 2, he should and must receive oral anticoagulation. Now, for the age old, we are having the vitamin K antagonist, that is warfarin. It is a age old drug we are using for a very long time, but there are some issues. These for the monitoring of the warfarin, we require to go for INR study. We have to follow up for INR regarding monitoring the anticoagulation status of warfarin. Apart from that, the patients, particularly many patients who require, say they are having the atrial fibrillation with pregnancy, warfarin embryopathy is a dreaded complication, particularly if the patient, pregnant patient, they are instituted warfarin in the first trimester. Now, in that area also we have some problem. So, to counter this problem, newer anticoagulants have come. We have the rivaroxaban, dabigatran, and also apixaban. They have enough study there, but issue is that these, particularly when compared with the warfarin, these newer anticoagulants, they have the less cerebral hemorrhage and other bleeding complications. But in India, particularly the younger age group, we have 2 subsets of patients who are having atrial fibrillation. One is the prosthetic valve, another is the patient with the rheumatic, particularly mitral stenosis and the rheumatic valvular disease. Particularly in these areas, newer anticoagulants, they are not indicated. Anyway, but patients who are having other group, elderly age group, they have the non-valvular atrial fibrillation, they are the scope for using the newer anticoagulants. Now, my personal experience, since dabigatran is available for the long time, I personally are using dabigatran, but we have some reports that dabigatran, they have the increased gastrointestinal hemorrhage, and also they have some increase, though non-significant increased incidence of coronary artery events, just like acute myocardial infarction. So, now before I institute any patient with the dabigatran, I will think twice whether I will go for the dabigatran. My next choice, as from the complication, bleeding complications, cardiovascular complications, other than my next choice is rivaroxaban. But issue is that be it the rivaroxaban or dabigatran, they are a bit costly in our country. But you know that when you use drug, our 3 issues we consider. First is the safety, second is the efficacy, third is the cost. All these newer oral anticoagulants, they are safe, they are efficacious, but cost is a bit high when we consider the socio-economic, particularly the economic status of India. So, those patients who can afford, now I use or my option will be to use rivaroxaban or apixaban, or these drugs are though not very easily available, but my option will be the rivaroxaban. So, I think those particular subset of patients who can afford, who are not the result of the atrial fibrillation, not from the rheumatic valvular disease, who are not having your prosthetic valves, this particular group of patient, my option would be going for the newer, particularly rivaroxaban. They have the advantages that they do not require any monitoring, but the problem is that if this group of patients, they have bleeding, particularly in the close place like intracranial or interspinal. Now, for the GI bleeding, we can manage the GI bleeding very well, but if they have got the intracranial bleeding or spinal bleeding, it will be very difficult, though the rare compared to warfarin, there is a less bleeding with the newer anticoagulants, intracranial bleed. So, I think that it will be a good option for those. I would rather say that now I have interacted the people who are doing this. Now, I prefer the term non-valvular, particularly in India, that the non-rheumatic patients.
Yes.
Non-rheumatic patient, not non-valvular. You know that this is a paradox. The patient having in western country having the aortic stenosis, calcific aortic stenosis, they do not consider it as to be the non-valvular. They consider it as a non-valvular. Even the patient with hemodynamically insignificant valvular lesion, they considered is the non-valvular. So, the rheumatic valvular, except rheumatic valvular diseases and prosthetic valve, we may go for the newer anticoagulants. Thank you.